Periva Sharanam.
We are going to see the 24th sloka of Soundarya Lahari. As usual, we will recite the slokas from 21 to 23 once and then go into the learning of 24th sloka.
Tatillekha tanvim tapana shashivayishvanaramyim nishannam shannam apyupari kamalanam tavakalam Maha padmatavyam mriditamalayena manasa Mahantah pasyantah dadhati paramahlādalaharim Bhavanitvam dase mayi vitara drishtim sakarunam iti stotum vanchan kathayati bhavanitvam yaha Tadaivatvam tasmai dishasi nija sayujya padavim Mukunda brahmendra sputamakuta nirajita padam Tvaya hritva vamam vapura paritriptena manasa Sharirardham shambho aparamapi shanke hritamabhut yadetattvadrupam sakalamarunabham trinayanam kuchabhyamanamram kutila shashichudalamakutam.
Now we will learn the 24th shloka.
Jagatsute dhata Jagatsute dhata Jagatsute dhata Harirabati rudrakshapayate Harirabati rudrakshapayate Hariravati rudrakshapayate Tiraskurvanne tat Tiraskurvanne tat Tiraskurvanne tat Swamapi vapurishastirayati Swamapi vapurishastirayati Swamapi vapurishastirayati Sada purvasarvam Sada purvasarvam Sada purvasarvam Tadidamana grannhati cha shivaha Tadidamana grannhati cha shivaha Tadidamanu grannhati cha shivaha Tavagnyāmalambya 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 Kshanachalitayorbhrulatikayoho 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 Jagatsute dhata Hariravati rudrakshapayate Jagatsute dhata Hariravati rudrakshapayate Jagatsute dhata Hariravati rudrakshapayate Tiraskurvanne tat Swamapi vapurishastirayati Tiraskurvanne tat स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः जगत्सूते धाता हरिरवतिरुद्रः क्षपयते तिरस्कुर्वन्नेतत् स्वमपि वपुरीशस्तिरयति सदा पूर्वः सर्वं तदिदमनुगृह्णाति च शिवः तवाज्ञामालम्ब्य क्षणचलितयोर्भ्रूलतिकयोः
Let us look at some context before we look into the meaning of the shloka. If we remember, in the second shloka, Acharya praises the very fine particles of dust that had fallen from Ambal's feet, which is being used by the Trimurtis. Brahma uses this to create all the universe or Brahmandas. Vishnu uses this dust to somehow protect these worlds with his 1,000 heads, and Shiva, during the Pralaya Kala, destroys these worlds and smears the ashes throughout his body. This shloka underlines the power of the dust particles that have fallen from Ambal's feet, and thus the power of Ambal's power itself, and Tirumurtis, like devoted bhaktas, carry out their work with just these dust particles and her blessings. Here, in this 24th shloka, Acharya has further detailed out the various portfolio allocations of the Trimurtis. The Lalita Sahasranama states, Ambal is a superior officer above Trimurtis. It states that she is the one who does all the 5 krityams in the Nama Panchakritya Parayana. Srishtikatri, Brahmarupa, Goptri Govinda Rupini, Samharini Rudrarupa, Tirodhana Karishwari, Sadashiva Anugrahada, Panchakritya Parayana. Generally, we think that the Trimurtis are responsible for the creation, protection and destruction of the universe. We generally know this, but it doesn't stop over there. There are 2 other portfolios totaling to 5 main jobs, and Ambal is the one who is managing all these portfolios. That is, she is above all these portfolios. This shloka talks about these 5 portfolios and how Ambal is like a sovereign power who is managing all these portfolios above them. The main difference between this shloka and the second shloka is that there in the second shloka, the Trimurtis are portrayed as bhaktas to Ambal. And in this 24th shloka, she is portrayed as a sovereign ruler, and all these portfolios are managed by devatas who are like officers under her who execute her orders. This shloka is a poetic masterpiece. Acharya here unveils hidden secrets in an interesting manner, which makes one wonder how someone else other than Acharya himself could so beautifully explain those inner meanings and secrets. But when we consider that the first 41 shlokas have been authored by Lord Parameshwara himself, only he will be able to explain the meaning of it. On the other hand, we believe Acharya is the reincarnation of Parameshwara, and therefore he could explain it as well, and he has done it so in Soundarya Lahari. Considering our Periva as the reincarnation of Adi Shankara, we can make complete sense as to why Periva was able to explain these shlokas so beautifully. Now, let us go into the meaning of the shloka line by line. The first line is Jagatsute Dhata Hariravati Rudrakshapayate. Jagat. Jagat means the world or the universe. Sute. Sute is to give birth. Dhata. Dhata means Brahma. Because he is a creator, he is called that. Hariravati. It is split as Hari plus Avati. Avati is to protect and save. Hari is Narayana, so Lord Narayana protects and saves. The next word is Rudraha. Rudran or a form of Lord Shiva. Kshapayate. Kshapayate means to destroys. So Lord Shiva or Rudran destroys. So the first line states the job of Trimurtis, that is, Lord Brahma gives birth to the universe or he creates it. Vishnu protects and saves this universe and Rudran destroys it. This is what we saw in the second shloka, where it says these three things of creation, protection and destruction are done with the help of the dust that is found under the lotus feet of Ambal. Now we will go to the next line. Tiraskurvan etat swamapi vapurishas tirayati. For the sake of understanding, what we will do is the first two words Tiraskurvan etat will be rearranged as Etat Tiraskurvan. Etat, it refers to the above mentioned Trimurtis, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Rudran. The next word Tiraskurvan or Tiraskaram means to hide or to withdraw. For example, when a child is playing with a doll for a long time and refuses to stop playing, the parents, what will they do? They will somehow try and hide the doll. In the same way, this refers to a kind of hiding in simple terms. But actually, it means to make something vanish by creating a Maya. In fact, there is a devatai for this purpose called Tiraskarini. So, what is the purpose of Tiraskaram? One, to hide or to create a Maya or illusion to hide something. And second is to withdraw something and keep it within itself. We have to understand that the above Trimurtis are also being withdrawn or hidden. In fact, all the 5 devatas who do these krityams are various dimensions of Brahman, and they have come out from the same Shakti or power. So, when we say Tiraskaram, these 3 Murtis are taken back or withdrawn into the same Brahman, which means involution. When we say evolution, it means coming out, transforming. But in the case of involution, it is again coming back to the same source from which it evolved. So the 4th portfolio here is Tiraskaram, where all the things that come out are taken back or withdrawn. And apart from that, what it does is it creates a Maya or illusion and hides a lot of things from us. Now, let us again go to the Lalita Sahasranama, where it says Srishtikartri is Brahma, Goptri Govindarupini is Vishnu, and Samharini Rudrarupa is Shiva. So it means that Ambal is the one who is in the form of all these 3 Trimurtis. So she is the one, she itself is the one who is doing all these 3 portfolios. Then we have Tirodanakari. This is the portfolio. That is what we just discussed above. So she does even this. Tirodanakari Ishwari. Here it is given as Ishwari. Therefore, the officer who is handling the portfolio of Tirodanam is Ishwaran. Ishwaran's Shakti is Ishwari. So now we have seen Etat Tiraskurvan. Then the next word is Swamapi, which is Swayam plus Api, and himself also. It means himself also. The next word Vapurishas Tirayati. Vapu means body. Ishaha is Ishwaran. That is what we told. Tirayati hides or withdraw. Again, Tirayati means to withdraw. That is, the Lord who is responsible for this portfolio, apart from dissolving the Trimurti within himself, Ishwaran hides even his own body. That is what it says. Because this portfolio, that is the fourth portfolio of Tirodhanam, is a bigger portfolio, this whole line talks about it. Effectively, Ishvara consolidates them and integrates the Trimurti into his form, and not stopping with that, he hides even his own form. Now we will get a very big question in our mind. Where does this consolidated form hide? Or what does it merge into? We know from the universally accepted theory of evolution that all living things keep evolving. So, when such evolved things go back a step and assumes its original form, it is termed as the process of biological devolution. The more apt phrase to denote this change is involution, as explained by Sri Mahaperiva in one of his beautiful discourses. So, from the next line of the shloka, we are going to understand how the fifth portfolio is a very special portfolio, and how the 5 different forms of forces which are working as distinct entities maintaining 5 different portfolios takes the process of involution and eventually shrink back into the source of origin, that being the Shakti. In fact, if we elevate ourselves to the highest level of understanding, then obviously we would understand that there is no high and low, and that everything is just one force, that is Shakti. While we get to the exact phrase-wise meaning of the lines, we are also going to enjoy a very nice little story used by Mahaperiva to explain the concept of Sadashiva, and let us begin. The next line is Sada Purvaha Sarvam Tadita Manugrinhati Cha Shiva. The best way to understand this is to connect the first 2 phrases and the last phrase and try to understand the wholesome meaning. Obviously, we understand the meaning of Shiva. What does the first 2 words mean? Sada, always. Purvaha, it means before or refers to a prefix. Now, connecting these 3 words together, that are Sada, Purvaha and Shiva, we understand that this line is talking about Shiva, who adds the word Sada to his name as a prefix. That is, Sada plus Shiva is Sadashiva. So now going to the story, there was a ranch owner. He is referred to as a Pannayar. On his workers was a parish known as Perumal, which in Tamil means a big man. The title normally denotes to Mahavishnu. This Pannayar was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu and so a Vaishnava. He was slightly squeamish about calling one of his lowly workers in the name of his revered god. So he told him, "You better go and change your name." The worker replied, "Sir, it cannot be done easily. I have to tell the village chief, that is Natamai, to get the name changed in all the records and announce the change of name for all to know in the feast, which should be done after the due puja in the village temple. There will be a lot of expenses involved in changing the records, arranging the puja in the temple, and organizing the feast for the whole village, sir. The Pannayar replied, "That is all right. I will take care of all the expenses." As long as he did not have to call him Perumal, he was prepared to bear all the expenses. Finally, one day, the worker came back after successfully getting his name changed in the village records and in a proper social gathering arranged for that purpose. The Pannayar asked him, "Okay, what is your name now?" The man answered, "Sir, it is now Bedda Perumal." That led to a old Tamil saying, "Perumal poi Bedda Perumal vandanam." It is something like saying, instead of the big man, a bigger man came. In the same way, Ambal was apprehensive of having another Shiva managing the portfolio, and she told this fifth portfolio's manager to choose any other name but Shiva. In the end, though this Devata, just like Perumal, decided that his name was to be Sadashiva, it was Ambal who first told the Murti not to have Shiva as the name, which made him mischievous enough to have the name as Sadashiva. Not just Shiva, but forever Shiva. Evidently, the poet has been rather clever in saying Shiva with the prefix of Sada instead of simply saying Sadashiva. If the Panchakritya Murtis' names are just listed one after the other, people may just read through. So the poet says Shiva with a prefix as Sada, which will reveal the way Ambal was fooled for the whole world to know. The right way to pronounce Sadashiva is to end it with an shabdam as Sadashivam. This has been specified by Periyava. So now we know the story how Shiva became Sadashivam. Then what is the portfolio of Sadashivam? That is given in the next few words of the Slokam. We have seen Sada Purvaha. The next word is Sarvam Tadidam Anugrinhati, which is split as Sarvam Tat Idam Anugrinhati. Sarvam Tat Idam. That is, in all these things, what are these things? The portfolios that were mentioned earlier. Anugrinhati. That is, provides his blessings so that their work takes place without any obstacles. So, Sadashivam remains as a Anugraha Murti, and he provides blessings to all these 4 officers who are managing the other portfolios and enforces the above 4 portfolios. For example, if Brahma says that he wants to create something, he confirms his intentions with Sadashivam, and Sadashivam obliges with Brahma and blesses this work. So, he kind of attests the work and starts the process. From this, we realize how big and important the portfolio of Sadashivam carries out. Now, this Sadashivam, despite being so powerful, what does he do? On whose orders is he operating? The answer is that there is a supreme officer, even beyond the officers of these 5 portfolios, and Acharya identifies this officer as Ambal in the last line, and it follows as Tavagnyam alambya kshanachalitayoho bhrulatikayoho. This line says how Ambal passes her orders to the lower line of her officers. Tava agnya alambya. Tava is your, Agnya is order, and Alambya is to hold tightly or firmly to that order. This Sadashivam is holding firmly on to your orders. And how do you give those orders to him? That is to Sadashivam. Kshana chalitayoho brulatikayoho. Kshana is the time of batting of an eyelid. That is a very quick and very short period of time. That is, it is less than even a second. Chalitayoho, that is movement, slight movement. Bru latikayoho. Bru is eyebrow. Latikayoho. This eyebrow of Ambal is like a creeper plant. Lata means a creeper. It is a description of the Ambal's beautiful eyebrows, which are like a creeper. Sadashivam takes cue from the very quick and the slightest movement of Ambal's eyebrow and considers it as her orders, and on the basis of these orders, he manages his portfolio, and from the orders and anugraham from Sadashivam, all other devatas continue to discharge their own duties of creation, protection, destruction. And apart from these three, there is one more portfolio which is Tirodhanam, that is hiding, or the process of involution, which was told earlier. And then finally, Sadashivam, where he takes the important portfolio of taking the first step in the process as well as getting the orders for doing everything from Ambal. So all these things finally say that the Shakti that all these portfolio officers are having are actually given by Ambal. That is why Lalita Sahasranamam says that she is the one who is in the form of Brahma, who is in the form of Vishnu. She is the one who does the Tirodhanam. She is the one who does the Anugraham part also. So apart from being the Shakti of all these forces, she is the one who actually gives the orders to all these forces to function also. So she is not just the force behind these portfolios, but she also gives the orders, and all these forces act only upon the order of Ambal. And how does she give her order? She doesn't have to say anything or show any actions. Nothing is required. Just a small or slight movement of her eyebrows is enough. The orders are executed by these forces. And finally, all these forces, through the process of involution, get back to the source of the force, that is Shakti herself. Periyava Sharanam.